In my video, 11 horrible home upgrades you'll regret, someone left a comment that really stuck with me. They said, and I quote, "Same thing all other channels say. Don't any of you have any unique take? I can think of 50 different things that can date or make a home complicated." And honestly, fair point. I actually replied that most of the things I talk about come from my own experience here in the Bay Area. But that comment got me thinking. What other home features are out there that look cool online but turn into regrets once you actually live with them? So I went digging, researched, asked other agents, designers, and contractors, and I even looked at what homeowners said they'd never do again. Here's what I came up with. 15 home design mistakes you probably haven't seen on other channels, but might want to think twice about before adding it to your home. Hey, before I dive in, I want to put a disclaimer out there. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. Do whatever you want with your home. It's your home. Try to enjoy it. But just note that these are, kind of like FYI things. So take it with a grain of salt. Let's start with mistake number 1. Downdraft cooktop ventilation. They look sleek. No bulky hood blocking your sight lines. Just a pop-up or built-in vent that disappears when not in use. Designers love them for open kitchens or islands. But here's the issue. Physics isn't on your side. Steam, smoke, and grease naturally rise, not sideways. Downdrafts struggle to capture those vapors efficiently, especially from taller pots or pans. Real-world tests, those from Consumer Reports, consistently showed that a good overhead range hood performs far better. You'll also find downdrafts louder, harder to clean, and often more expensive to install because the ducting required under the floor or through the cabinetry. They're fine for light cooking or occasional use, but if you actually cook, you'll end up wishing for a traditional hood. Mistake number 2. Cooktops on kitchen islands. Okay, this one is a little bit personal for me because I really don't like this setup. You see it all the time in glossy kitchen photos. A beautiful open island with a cooktop right in the middle so you can face your guests while you cook. It looks amazing on paper, but in real life, not so much. Cooking in the center of your kitchen means steam, grease, and splatters go everywhere across the island onto your stools and even your guests if they're sitting nearby. And unless you've got a big vent hood hanging right over or above it, good luck keeping up with the mess. Plus, it kind of defeats the purpose of having an island. Instead of a big prep or serving space, now you've got burners and pots in the way. And remember mistake number 1? Those pop-up downdraft vents? Yes, if you also include one of those behind your cooktop, that's double trouble. They look sleek, but they're usually underpowered and just don't capture steam or odors effectively, especially when you're searing or boiling. If you really want that chef-facing the crowd vibe, go for a peninsula setup or keep the cooktop on the wall with proper vent. You'll get better airflow, better function, and a much easier kitchen to live with day by day. So unless you're the next Food Network star and shooting videos while you cook, forget about it. Mistake number 3, curbless showers with linear drains. Now, I'll have to admit I like this one. They look clean, modern, and super high-end. The barrier-free entry gives your bathroom that spa vibe everyone is going for right now. But here's the problem. They only work if they're built perfectly. The slope, the waterproofing, the drain placement, everything has to be spot on. One small mistake and water ends up traveling where it shouldn't. And you've got leaks, puddles, or even mold under your tile. And those sleek linear drains, they're gorgeous, but they love to trap hair and gunk. So unless you enjoy pulling out that grate and cleaning it regularly, you might start regretting the minimalist choice pretty fast. If you really want one, go for it. Just make sure your contractor has done a lot of them. The margin of error here is tiny. Okay, moving on. Mistake number 4, all-in washer and dryer combos. The first time I saw this, it was in Europe and I was like amazed. On paper, they sound perfect. One sleek machine that washes and dries, saving space and simplifying laundry day, right? But here's the reality. They're slow, like really slow. Drying a single load can take 3 to 6 hours, and even then, clothes often come out slightly damp. Because they're ventless, they rely on condensation drying, which is far less efficient than vented models. They also have smaller drum capacity, so you can't wash as much per load. If you got a family or do laundry often, it turns into an all-day affair. Most owners end up saying the same thing. I love the idea, not the experience. If space is tight, a stackable washer and dryer set gives you true performance without the waiting game. Mistake number 5, matte black faucets and shower hardware. Here's another one of those, they look amazing online. I mean, matte black fixtures photograph beautifully, right? They make a bathroom or kitchen look super sleek and high-end. But in real life, total fingerprint magnets. Every single water spot, every touch, it all shows up. You'll find yourself constantly wiping them down, especially if you have hard water. And once that finish starts to wear or scratch, you can't just polish or touch it up. It never looks quite the same again. If you love the dark look, consider brushed black or graphite finishes instead. They hide smudges way better and still give you that modern edge. Mistake number 6, shadow gap baseboards. These are super trendy in modern homes right now. That clean, minimalist look where the wall seems to float just above the floor with no trim. It looks sleek, but here's the catch. They get filthy. Dust, pet hair, and every crumb somehow find their way into that little gap. By the way, they're also very expensive to install correctly, and if your drywall isn't perfectly straight, you'll see every flaw. I've seen these in a few high-end homes in the Bay Area, and even the builders admit they're a pain to maintain. Unless you live in downtown Abbey and have a staff to look after you, I'd skip this one. Mistake number 7, microcement floors and walls. Now I'll admit, these look amazing in photos. That perfectly smooth, continuous surface makes any room feel high-end and minimalist, like something out of a luxury spa or a Pinterest board. If you haven't heard of it, microcement is a super thin cement base coating that can be applied right over existing floors or walls, tiles, concrete, even wood. It gives you that continuous, grout-free look designers love. But again, here's the catch. Microcement is super unforgiving. The surface prep has to be absolutely flawless because every little imperfection underneath will show. And once it cracks, good luck patching it. Matching the original texture and color is almost impossible. You usually have to redo the whole section. So unless you've got a very experienced installer and a budget for maintenance down the line, this one can turn from architectural statement to constant frustration pretty fast. Hey, if you're getting value out of this list, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out more homeowners avoid expensive design regrets. And if you've lived with one of these features, I'd love to hear your experience in the comment section. What would you never do again? Okay, back to regular programming. Mistake number 8, huge sliding or folding glass walls. Now again, this is one of those, I have to admit, I love it. So don't get me wrong, these look amazing. When they're open, you get that beautiful indoor-outdoor flow everyone dreams about. But here's what people don't think about. Those tracks and gaskets are maintenance magnets. Every little bit of dust, grit, or leaf that gets in there means more cleaning. And if you don't keep up with it, the doors start sticking, the seals wear out, and energy efficiency takes a nosedive. And let's not forget, they're also not cheap to install or repair. Every panel and track systems are usually custom. So yeah, they photograph beautifully, but in real life, it's a lot of work keeping them sliding like butter. Mistake number 9, zero threshold indoor-outdoor floor. This is kind of like that shower thing that I talked about earlier. This is where your indoor floor flows right outside in the same level. so it looks like one continuous space. It's super popular in design magazines and luxury builds. That perfectly seamless transition. But here's the catch. You're basically inviting rain, wind, and dirt right into your living room if the drainage and detailing aren't absolutely perfect. Even a small mistake in slope or waterproofing can lead to standing water, leaks, or worse, hidden moisture issues that only show up later as mold or warping. So again, yeah, it looks amazing in photos, but unless your builder is meticulous about drainage, flashing, and sealing, this trend can cost you big time later. Mistake number 10, pivot front doors. You've probably seen this, those massive entry doors that swing open like something out of a luxury resort. They're sleek, dramatic, and definitely a statement piece. It's something that I kind of like also, by the way. But here's the thing, they might look like they belong in an art museum, but they don't seal like traditional hinge doors. That means air leaks, drafts, and sometimes even a little daylight sneaking through the edges. And if you live somewhere with real weather, wind, heat, cold, you literally feel it every time you walk by. They're also heavier, which puts more strain on the hardware over time. And if something goes wrong, you're not picking up a replacement part over at Home Depot. Mistake number 11, composite decking in full sun. I've seen these firsthand and they look amazing at first. Composite decks are durable, low maintenance, and come in tons of colors and styles. But here's the thing, if it's truly exposed to the sun all day, that surface can get scorching hot, way hotter than wood. I've been on decks where you literally can't stand barefoot for more than a few seconds. And it's not just the heat. Prolonged UV exposure can cause fading, surface wear, and even slight warping over time, especially with darker colors. It's one of those upgrades that looks great on paper but can make your outdoor space uncomfortable and age faster than expected. If you're set on composite, go with lighter colors, partial shading, or even a pergola to make it last and stay usable year-round. Alright, we're almost there. Mistake number 12. Artificial turf yards. Again, this is one of those things that I like. I actually want to do this in our yard. I mean, it looks clean, it's always green, and the idea of never mowing again, pretty tempting. But here's the catch. Artificial turfs gets really hot, like hotter than concrete. On a sunny Bay Area day, it can hit over 160 degrees, which means you're not walking barefoot on it unless you enjoy pain. There's also been more talk about PFAS. Those are forever chemicals found in some turf products. A few California cities have even started restricting certain types because of that. And while turf sounds maintenance-free, it's not. You still have to rinse pet messes, deal with odors, and get this, replace it every 10 to 15 years when it starts breaking down. So yeah, it's low maintenance, but not no maintenance. If you want a cooler and more eco-friendly option, drought-tolerant plants or native ground covers give that manicured look without the heat or chemical worries. Mistake number 13, dark exterior paint and black vinyl window frames. Dark exterior paints are having a big moment. They look bold, modern, and really make a house pop in photos. And I get it. But here's what most homeowners don't realize. The sun absolutely destroys dark finishes faster than light ones. UV rays break down pigments and darker colors absorb more heat, which means faster fading, paint breaking down, and more thermal expansion in your siding or trim. In some cases, that heat can even cause minor warping or peeling. And it's not just paint. Black vinyl window frames deal with the same problem. Dark vinyls absorb a lot of heat, which can lead to expansion, soften seals, and eventually performance issues. If you love the look, aluminum or wood-clad windows handle high temperatures way better. If you live somewhere sunny like California, your south and west facing walls take the biggest beating. You'll end up repainting sooner, especially with matte finishes. If you love the look, go for it. Just pick UV resistant paint. Use satin or low sheen finish and pair it with lighter trims or accents to keep things cooler and balanced. Mistake number 14, motorized shades and always online smart locks. Full disclosure, I want this in our house. So again, don't get me wrong, I love smart home tech. Motorized shades and smart locks sound super convenient until they're not. Here's the thing, a lot of these systems rely on batteries or Wi-Fi, and when either fails, you're suddenly dealing with some pretty inconvenient smart problems. Batteries and shades can die faster than you think, especially if you're using them daily. So unless they're hardwired or, solar powered or easily rechargeable, you'll be climbing a ladder every few months to swap them out. And those always on smart locks, they're cool until the app glitches, the Wi-Fi drops, or batteries die right before you need to get in. I've had clients literally get locked out because their smart lock went dumb at the worst possible moment. If you want to go with high-tech, go for hybrid setups. Wired ones or solar-powered ones, or locks that still have manual overrides. Because the smartest upgrade of all, the one that still works when the power goes out. And finally, number 15, black stainless steel appliances. Again, they look stunning in showrooms, sleek, modern, and less cold than traditional stainless steel. But here's the problem, that dark coating isn't solid metal. It's a tinted layer oxide or paint-like finish applied over regular stainless. Once it scratches, and it will, you can't buff or polish it back. The silver-based metal shows through, and suddenly that high-end kitchen starts looking patchy. There's been consumer complaints and lawsuits over peeling finishes from several major brands. Once that coating starts flaking, there's no clean repair. You're looking at replacing entire panels or the entire thing. If you love the dark look, consider brushed graphite, titanium, or matte metal finishes instead. They hide wear better and last longer. Hey look, at the end of the day, it's your home. Design trends come and go, but practicality never goes out of style. Before you chase that next big idea you saw on Instagram, ask yourself, will I love this in 5 years, or will it drive me crazy? I'm Mac Rogers. I keep tabs on the Bay Area real estate market and neighborhood trends so you don't have to. Thanks for watching.